Hello everyone, and welcome to the Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Care Network. I'm Dean, the host of the N.A.R.C.N Network and channel, and also the host of the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. Today we're going to be doing episode 184 on the N.A.R.C.N Network, and the topic and subject of episode 184 is why narcissists need to be in relationships. Now, we've talked a little bit about this in the past, exactly why narcissists need to be in relationships, but we're going to maybe address a couple of points here in this particular video just to clarify a little bit exactly why that is the case and why narcissists almost always need to be in a relationship or need to be involved with somebody. And of course, this has to do with their need for fuel and for attention. Narcissists need fuel and attention constantly. They constantly need to be given accolades. They constantly need to have themselves bumped up in some particular way. They need to be put on a pedestal a lot of the time. They need you to give them a lot of attention and a lot of fuel constantly, because this is the way that they are. So the way that a narcissist has to attain this is most often through constantly having sources of this available to them to give them what they need. And this can be in the source of having a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. Of course, they get attention from these subjects this way. We all get attention this way, but that is commonly, very often, not even close to enough fuel for the narcissist. The narcissist will have to gain fuel from other sources, and this is commonly why they are engaged with multiple people at one time. Most of my narcissists, actually all of my narcissists I've dealt with right up from 2007, every single example I have of being involved with somebody who had NPD or narcissistic personality disorder, every single person I was with was involved with more than one person than just me. And oftentimes it was multiple people. Often it was like two or more besides myself. And this is, I guess, the best example I can give there of, why narcissists always have to be in a relationship. And when I say relationship, it doesn't have to be like a serious relationship. It can be any type of relationship. It doesn't even have to be a love relationship. Often narcissists obtain really great fuel just from friendship relationships and from other types of relationships as well too. They will get their fuel wherever they can, in any way that they can, from anybody who will provide it to them. But commonly when they're in relationships and they're getting fuel off of like a romantic interest relationship, this is where their best fuel comes from. But it can also come in a very good source from a very close friend who always bumps up that narcissist and is always being positive with them, always giving them a lot of accolades, just fueling them in some ways that push them. But of course, as we know too, and as we've talked about in previous N.A.R.C.N episodes, narcissists also look for negative fuel. In fact, a lot of narcissists who have had a lot of chaos in their lives when they were younger, or in their teenage years, or even into adulthood, they also seek a lot of chaos fuel out of people, and that comes in the form of fights, that comes in the form of arguments, disagreements with people that give them fuel, and they often look for that type of fuel too, and they often look for it out of romantic partners or people that they're involved with in some particular way, but they also look for this chaos fuel from friends and from family and from co-workers and from just every type of source you could possibly think of. They can derive this chaos fuel from that. And when I say chaos fuel, this is just a term used for like negative fuel or negative attention sources, because negative energy being thrust upon them, they feed upon as well too. They are literally just energy suckers. They're energy vampires. This is what they are. And they will take good energy, bad energy, whatever the heck it is they can get. But the one thing you can be sure of is that when you are dealing with a narcissist, pretty much 99% of the time, that narcissist is in some other relationship with somebody besides you, and they are deriving fuel and attention from that person, if not from multiple people at the same time. And this is something that I've been studying for quite some time in my research in narcissism now. I look at all the cutting edge to do with this. I know what I'm talking about is the absolute fact here when it comes to information I present to you guys on the N.A.R.C.N network. I try not to present anything to you that is false in nature, or any information that is false in nature. And I openly say to anybody out there who may have other information or can actually put up an argument against what I'm saying being true, to please come forward and always give me a quote on my N.A.R.C.N network and let me know if I've said something that is inaccurate. But I can tell you here, the point that I'm making here with narcissists needing to be in other relationships, or needing constantly to be in relationships, it is 100% almost completely accurate. They are all like this. They are all doing things of this nature, and this is part of the way that they function and the way they get along in life, and how it feeds the requirements that they need for attention in their lives. They have to do a lot of things to get that attention because they require so much of it. When a narcissist isn't being occupied in some way, whatever is going on with that narcissist and whatever has affected them in their lives when they were in their formative years and right into adulthood, it causes them to have to be always amused or occupied with something. They have to have their minds doing something or involved in something, and this requires attention from other people. It requires their attention being taken by other things. They may have pastimes or hobbies that they do that take up their attention, or they often, more often than not, also have a lot of substance abuse problems. They are commonly having issues with alcoholism and with drug abuse and other things of this nature. Again, this is all based on the science of narcissism. This is stuff that I study constantly every day. I can tell you that these statements that I'm making here are 100% true. That's not to say that every narcissist has an alcohol problem or every narcissist has a drug problem. There are ones that don't, but there are far fewer ones that don't have any of these issues than ones that do. And you can go look on the internet. There are plenty of narcissists on the internet that have YouTube channels that talk about themselves. One of those being the Nameless Narcissist. This is a male that talks about his narcissism openly with people on his channel, and he provides a lot of information and a lot of accurate information about how narcissists function. You also have, of course, H.G. Tudor, who is a very famous narcissist on the internet, who provides a wealth of information about narcissism and also a wealth of information about how he himself functions within his narcissism. And I can tell you right now that when he tells you stuff that's going on with narcissism, he is telling you the truth about how narcissists function. And even he would say that narcissists are always after somebody who can give them fuel. So if they don't have a relationship, they're looking into a relationship. If they have a relationship functioning, they're looking for another relationship. If they have two functioning relationships, they're probably looking for a third one or a fourth one. Whatever it is that they require to keep themselves happy and to keep themselves satiated as far as their requirements for attention and just getting along as narcissists in their lives. So this is why narcissists are predominantly almost always in relationships, if not multiple relationships. They just require this. They are always in the need, in the search for fuel, in the search for other people that they can get into their narcissistic circle, and they just need this as a requirement in their lives. They need to be in relationships to get the attention that they require, because this is all part of how they function as narcissists. And we may talk about this in another upcoming episode a little bit here. But for today, these are just the points I wanted to make in this episode to you guys. Just a little discussion here on the reasons why narcissists need to be in relationships and why they often have so many relationships going at the same time. So this has been episode 184 on the N.A.R.C.N network. I'm going to say to you guys, please stay tuned. I've got lots of content coming up on the N.A.R.C.N network and also on the Unmasking the Narcissist channel. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll catch you really soon with some new videos.